Aha! 2 garage doors, people. Can you believe it? Welcome to my new home. Welcome to the next home gym. Welcome to the future of strength and steel. Today is the first part of an episodic series cataloging this whole journey as I transform this bland, ordinary 2-car garage into something far more special. Let's review these plans. Let's get into the video. Alright, so if you can't tell, I am totally stoked about building out this new home gym. Again, this is the first part of an episodic series. These are just the plans. If you haven't yet, subscribe. I'm going to catalog my whole journey of massive successes and catastrophic failures. Because as we all know, no matter how much you plan, no matter how much you think ahead, when it comes to home gyms, you're bound to make mistakes. It just happens. Some basic stats about this 2-car garage. It's about 470 square feet, which is a lot to work with, and I'm really excited about that. There's a unique little cutout against the far wall, about 4 by 15. We'll discuss that later. I think it adds a lot of character to this garage. Currently, we have these storage racks, which I will discuss later in this video. Some of them are staying up, some of them are coming down. Now, I was gonna wait for my cousin to film the rest of this video. She arrives later this afternoon, but I don't think I have the patience because I really want to apply this cool new paint color that's called Iron Ore. It's a slightly darker shade than the one that I had at my previous gym. I wanted to get it on these walls, so I don't think I'm gonna wait for her. I'm gonna do this all myself. I think what we'll do first is we'll discuss the flooring, then we'll move to the walls and that really cool paint color that I've been blathering about and we'll blather more about. Then we'll talk about the lighting. After that, we'll talk about the awesome home gym equipment that I plan to install. But before we go there, let's talk about this slate gray textured flooring that existed long before I moved into this home. Let's talk about what I plan to do with it. All right, I hope you guys like big white walls because here's one right here. This is my wall. This is my big white wall. And it's a part of my home gym. And it won't stay white for long, but more on that soon. First thing we shall discuss is flooring. Now, you probably can't see it all too well with this footage I'm showing you now, so don't worry. Here comes some B-roll. Currently, we have this textured plastic flooring, which for most people would be a godsend. You move into a new home and you already have flooring. For me, unfortunately, it just means that I need to pluck it all up and either find someone to give it to or throw it away. Now, some of you might be really upset right now, thinking, why would you get rid of all this flooring? You already have flooring. Well, I want legitimate rubber 8mm flecked gym roll flooring. I do. Plus, with this textured plastic, I can't really pivot on the ball of my feet when I'm kicking for Muay Thai, and I love Muay Thai. It keeps me sane. But beyond that, with the incredible amount of weight that I am generally lifting, there's a good chance that this plastic will crack, and I'm going to be here for the foreseeable future because I am not building another home gym. I'm probably gonna end up building another home gym, but not for a while. In the meantime, I am committed to making this place my haven, my home within my home, and I want to do it right. I really don't want to make the same mistakes that I've made before. I want to make all new ones. So, like I said, I'm replacing this with 8mm flooring. Now, I saw on Gluck's channel that he got his flooring from Freedom Fitness Equipment, so I actually reached out to them. And I also saw on Gluck's channel that he had this awesome line of turf with his insignia blazed out in the center of it. So I thought I would ask them to draw me up a design, which I'm sure I'm showing to you right now. It's beautiful, it's awesome, but let's just say it was out of my price range. So instead, I purchased their 8mm flooring, which is also really nice. I've been working with Ashton over at Freedom Fitness Equipment. Here's a shout out. I'll be doing a whole nother video when I'm actually installing the flooring, but he's been extremely kind and helpful, and I see why Gluck was working with them. They're a great company. I'm gonna do that myself. Now, I saw that Gluck had somebody do it, which kind of scares me because if he's not capable or not willing or not wanting to install his own flooring, it makes me wonder as to how it's gonna go for me. But I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm really excited for that. That will be the first step. That should be arriving in 2 to 4 weeks, they estimate. And when that gets in, I will get it in.
That's what she said.
And hopefully by that time I will be rid of this flooring, so we'll see. Anyway, that will be step 1, or actually I guess step 2, because I'm going to be painting, and hopefully if this filming goes well today, I'll begin painting as soon as I'm done filming. So I guess technically the first step will be painting, and the kind of paint that I've settled upon was, well, it's iron ore, which sounds dope. It sounds really cool, and it looks really cool, at least in theory. I didn't grab a sample. I just kind of saw the color and decided, so, which is very like me, so we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to do black. I was really thinking about doing black. It looks so cool, but I had this like slate gunmetal kind of gray at my previous gym, and I loved it. I thought it looked really cool. So I think this iron ore is similar. It's just a little darker, a little more hardcore, because I'm hardcore, obviously. So I want this next gym to represent truly how hardcore I am. Sorry, getting a little excited. When I talk about how hardcore I am, I get excited. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna be painting the ceiling. I'm gonna get all the walls. And before, in the previous gym in North Carolina, I had the whole gym crowded with equipment already when I was trying to paint everything. It was terrible. So I have some stuff in here, but not a lot of stuff. So I think it actually might be a pretty enjoyable painting experience as far as joy and painting experiences go together. But that's the plan. Today I'll begin painting that iron ore. So then we'll paint will dry, get a couple coats in, and then soon after that, hopefully, I can get the flooring in if it arrives soon. It never hurts to hope, people. I mean, sometimes it hurts, but hopefully not this time. Okay, and then there's lighting. Now, I can't speak too much of my plans for the lighting just yet. What I want are those badass looking hex lights that I see. I mean, I had some at my last gym, but they were pretty cheap and they were so bright. My wife absolutely hated them, and I said I didn't, but there was a part of me that also did dislike them. I didn't hate them, but their brightness was occasionally irritating. So I would like to find some hex lights that dim. So actually, if you know of any really good hex lights or just any companies that devise really great gym lighting in general, or if you have any other ideas as to what you think I should use for lighting in this gym, please comment below. I could use some help here. But currently they have these like 4-foot fluorescent shop lights. I mean, they're nice, but they don't emit the kind of vibes that I'm searching for here. So we're probably either gonna remove them or add to them. I haven't yet decided. Hey, pal. Craig. That's Craig, he's talking to me right now. What's up, man? Yeah, look, it's Craig. Say hi, Craig. No, you're good, man. That's Craig. It's my neighbor. One of the jolliest neighborhoods I've ever been to. Everybody is so kind and so nice. It's strange. Not that the people in my previous neighborhood were not this kind, but they were more solitary, I guess. They were more to themselves. Around here, everybody seems to know each other. It feels like stepping back in time a little bit. I think it's gonna be really good for me and my family. I really do. But yeah, we got these 4-foot fluorescent shop lights, and I think they gotta go. So you got any ideas, let me know. Let's start talking about exactly what I aim to do with these storage units, these strong racks, and what I'm going to put in their place. Okay, so here is one of the strong racks. I like the ones above the desk. I think I'm gonna keep those. But this one I think has got to go, because this is where I'm going to have the centerpiece of my home gym. This is where I'm gonna have my power rack. Now I'm caught up between the Force USA C20 and the Aries 2.0. Actually comment below if you recommend one of those two over the other. I know Hybrid Resistance recently had that interview with that man who bought the C20 and had a really bad experience. That has actually scared me off pretty significantly. But it's still such a dope rack that I really am still interested, but I am officially leaning towards the Aries 2.0. Tell me which one you recommend, the Aries 2.0 or the C20, or if you have another recommendation at all. But yeah, here I'm gonna be having the power rack facing outward. So it'll be pressed up against the wall right here, centered, and then I will have some plate storage on either side. I also wanna get a Smith machine attachment. I really do. I see that Rep has one, but it says it's released, but it's constantly on pre-order and I see no reviews, so I don't have any idea what's happening with that. I really don't. It's kind of annoying. Now, one of the reasons why I'm actually orienting the power rack this way is to avoid making one of the big home gym mistakes that I made previously, which is working against the slant of the garage. My previous rack, I had the Rep Athena. It worked against the slope, meaning it was placed horizontally rather than vertically. Now, all garages slope downward, so if there's any excess spillage, say like gasoline or something like that, then it flows downward. It flows away from the user. Now, what's really rough about setting up your centerpiece, your squat rack, horizontally against a slope is it leads to an imbalance, especially during squats. So one leg is going to be carrying more load than the other, and that's not so good. I started to feel it in my joints, I started to feel it in my knees, and every time I came out of the squat rack, I'd have to carry the bar out and I'd have to turn and face the front of the garage. Thankfully, I've learned from that mistake at least, and I won't be doing that here. So yeah, Rep Aries 2.0, let's talk about the second. Probably if there's two centerpieces, then this is the first, but the second one, I think I'm more excited about. I think I am the most excited about. I can't wait to tell you. All right, the second centerpiece, if there's a centerpiece mostly for me, from my upper body, I guess it would have been the Aries 2.0 or the C20, we'll see. But for me, the big purchase will be the Temple of Gains Quad Send. I've already bought it. It looks so awesome. Full range of motion on both the hack squat and the leg press. Usually you have to make some sort of a compromise when buying a combo piece. It might be the first one where you don't. Usually with a combo leg press hack squat, either you get full range of motion the leg press or not the hack squat and not the hack squat, or vice versa. It looks like No might have actually nailed it. I mean, there have been no official reviews, they haven't been released yet, but it looks like you can get a complete range of motion on both the hack squat and the leg press. And as I've discussed in previous videos, I really like machines for building legs. They've worked really well for me historically, and this to me is a dream. I'm gonna put it, it's an enormous piece, you should know. If you don't already, most of you probably do, but it's a really big piece. It's designed for home gyms, but it is the size of a commercial piece. So you have to plan for it, which I have. I'll be putting it right here at the mouth of this garage door. So I'm blocking off one garage door. One I'm gonna leave open at all times, but this leftmost garage, this east-facing garage door, I'm gonna have this one blocked off by the quad send. I'll have it right here. So it's essentially gonna be facing my power rack. They're gonna be looking at one another. This will be the busiest part of the gym. And I might squeeze something between the two, but I really think it's nice to have an open wall because I do a lot of stretching. I say that now, but I'm gonna see something in about 2 months or tomorrow or this afternoon, and I'm gonna want it, and I might use it to take up that bit of flat wall right there and sandwich it between the two. But that was another mistake that I had made with my previous gym, was it was just so busy. You know, you need to have space to move around, space to be comfortable. Some people are okay with the chaos and the mayhem, but I like organization. I've said that in previous videos, and I'm saying that again. I don't just review home gym equipment because I'm fascinated by the engineering or the machinery, though I do find it interesting. I really got into this because I love exercise. I love working out. So my priority is always to maximize the space for efficiency. I want it to be efficient because if this channel died tomorrow, I'd still be working out for the rest of my life. Nothing changes. But yeah, the plan is for the quad send here. I think they plan to start shipping them in April, and I am stoked for that. It also has a little calf press built into it, like a little calf bar, and I doubt it will help me because my genetics are endlessly waging war against the lower half of my body, especially the calves. But I don't know. It's worth a shot. Maybe it'll help. Slightly adjusted the camera so you could get a better view of this little desk area, this cutout. So it's about like 4 feet in and maybe 14, 15 feet vertically. This is awesome. This thing to me is all the difference. This is a little nook for my desk area. As you can see, this was here when I arrived, but I'm going to set up a computer here, a camera, and I could film from here. I can edit because I'm 100% getting a mini split. I haven't mentioned that, but as I've heard in the comments so often, Florida hot, Florida hot, Florida sweaty, Florida crazy. I know. I'm getting the mini split. If you guys have any recommendations on the mini splits, let me know in the comments below. Hold on, let me change the camera angle for the outro. Okay, wow, that's way better. Now you get another shot of the garage, focusing on the other garage door just as the sun is hitting its apex and cutting through the trees. How nice. Okay, so remember, subscribe. This is just the first episode of a series of episodes. These are my plans, all of which are certainly subject to change. You can count on that. Plans change. Man makes plans and God laughs. So I'm sure someone will be laughing at me, and it won't just be my cousin or my wife. If God exists, he will be too. All right, you guys stay strong and you stay steely, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.